The song we're about to do is called "Back to Houston." I grew up in Houston, Texas. My dad was a musician since I can remember. He used to take me out to his shows when I was really young, and I met my bass player, who actually recently quit the band, hence the name Beth Lee and the Breakups. But she was from Houston, and the reason I met her is because she used to do the Silkies blues jam that my dad played with, and so I was inspired to write the song "Back to Houston," thinking about how everything came to be from those days at Silkies, and idealistic time period when I was young, and I would go back there and we'd always have a great time. But now I'm back here living in Austin. And things have moved on, so I wrote it about my love for that place, but just it's just time to move on and make my way here in Austin. So.
I can't believe I miss you, darling. After all those things you said to me, but I'm leaving in the morning to put to rest those old memories. You don't know the heartache that I'm feeling. You don't know memories still strong. You don't know half the places I have been. Well, I'm going back to Houston again. After all these years, not much has changed. Different people living the same lives. Maybe somebody will still know my name. Maybe I'll be driving home tonight. You don't know the heartache that I'm feeling. You don't know memories still strong. You don't know half the places I have been. Well, I'm going back to Houston again. You don't know the heartache that I'm feeling. You don't know memories still strong. You don't know half the places I have been. Well, I'm going back to Houston again. Well, I'm going back to Houston again.
Well, when I moved to Austin, I first started doing open mics, so I ended up at the Cactus Cafe, ended up at Ruta Maya, which was then on 4th Street. Then I moved down to South Congress, so I started going there, and I remember one time I was playing the open mic there, and on the loudspeaker I heard a guitar player that I didn't know who it was. I just knew that it sounded like, Ron Wood, Rod Stewart, the Faces, and I was like, who is this guy? Like, he's awesome, I've got to find out who this is. It ended up being Scrappy Judd Newcomb. So I went to the Saxon pub to find out who Scrappy Judd Newcomb was. I became like a loyal Resentments fan for about a year, and then finally got up the courage to go introduce myself and say, hey, my name's Beth Lee. I'm a singer-songwriter. You're awesome. I'd love for you to play on my new CD. I'm working on a demo right now, and blah, 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 blah. He was like, yeah, I'd love to, And so then he ended up playing on what was then like six songs, and I recorded it with one of his good friends, Ron Flint. And so we did that. And then it just ended up turning into, I got inspiration and decided, may as well add another 4 tracks, So it ended up turning into a full-length album. And then from then on, I kind of dove into like that whole, 60s rock and roll, Rolling Stones, Faces, like all that stuff. And I definitely got more of a like rock and roll edge. And back then I was really into Patsy Cline and, all that classic country type stuff. So, so then I started writing more like that, and my dad always wrote like that, and he influenced me quite a bit.